Hi folks, today's an exciting day as I'm joined by Mark and Michael from the Windows Servicing and Delivery team in Microsoft to talk about Windows 10 ESU and the latest new innovation with Windows Autopatch and Windows 365. Oh, and we have a surprise because we have a magic trick as well. So let's get started. Hi folks, welcome to another Windows in the Cloud episode. And this time it's about Windows Autopatch as well as the Windows 10 ESU offering we just announced. But before I'm starting with this episode and introduce our great guest and that magic trick that I mentioned in the intro as well, please make sure to subscribe on our Windows IT Pro YouTube channel to stay up to date about all the latest news and updates about Windows 365. And with that, I'm super pumped to be joined by the Windows Servicing and Delivery team here. But before I do so, let's do that magic trick, right? Are you ready, Mark and Michael?
Yeah, let's. Oh, I can't wait for this. That's the main reason I showed up.
Well, do you see this? It's like just a normal piece of cotton. I will let it disappear. So here it goes. And bam!
Whoa! I think you got a new career.
Yeah.
Well, if the audience knows how the trick works, put it in the comments or on social media in the comments on the post. I would like to hear if you can find the trick behind it. Well, let's get started here. Hey, Mark, great to have you on the show. Can you introduce yourself real quick?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm a program manager on the Autopatch team, so kind of have years of experience on Intune and SCCM and other kind of technologies around Microsoft. But thank you for having me. I always enjoy a good magic show.
Well, we do some magic with Windows Autopatch as well for customers, but more on that in just a bit too. Great to have you for the first time here, and maybe we can have you back at some point as well. But let's first talk about the good stuff. But in just a bit, we will talk about more things as well, like Windows 10 ESU, and therefore Michael is as well here. Michael, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me, Christian. I'm Michael. I'm another program manager within the WSD team. My team owns a variety of things, but one of which is the Windows Lifecycle and the Windows 10 Extended Security Updates program.
Yeah, thanks, and great to have you as well. We have been working for more than a year closely together in Microsoft on something called a project, but we cannot spoil the name, but you know what I'm showing here. So
I recognize that.
Here, so that's just an internal joke here. But can you tell a little bit more about what your team has been working on just for Windows 10 in general, extended security updates, or also known as ESUs? What's that all about? And then after, we can talk a little bit more what we're doing special for Windows 365.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so Christian, Windows 10 is going to go end of support on October 14th, 2025. And a lot of customers already know this, and they're working on migrating their estates. But some of them, at the end of the day, they're going to need some more time. And that's what we have the Windows 10 Extended Security Updates program for. It's really intended as a bridge to help customers who need more time make that transition from Windows 10 over to Windows 11. It's a 3-year paid program available in 1-year increments that provides critical and important security fixes as determined by the Microsoft Security Response Center during that period of time, so that while customers are still on that OS, Windows 10 OS that is out of support, they still are secure and compliant.
Can you share, you talk quite often with customers about this, and can you maybe share a little bit more about what are the customer scenarios? What do you hear from customers where this could be a great offering as well?
Yeah, there's really kind of 4 different offerings that we have with this particular program. And so as you look at the slide that I brought today, if you look all the way over on the left side, you're going to see that we have extended security updates included at no additional charge for Azure VMs. And this is a great offering if you're a customer that maybe just has a few workloads that have to stay on Windows 10, and you can virtualize those. So you can move those into the cloud. You can take advantage of all the benefits of Azure, and those Windows 10 VMs running there will be kept secure at no additional charge. Now, let's say you're a customer that is working on your device refresh to Windows 11, and you realize that you're just not quite going to make it in time, and you're going to have some set of computers that are going to have to still be on Windows 10 for some period of time. This is where our standard offering at $61 per device for year one comes into play. And this would kind of be the default offering, and it's the same essentially as what we did for Windows 7 extended security updates. So a customer here is going to purchase this for that set of devices. They're going to receive 5x5 Mac activation keys that they can then use either the volume activation management tool or a custom script, for example, to deploy and activate on those devices, and then use WSUS, SCCM, or even Windows Update for that matter, or even Autopatch to keep those the updates flowing to those devices. Now, if you're a customer that's moving into cloud management for your update management, like using Intune or Autopatch for update management, or maybe you're thinking about it, or you're already there, we have a new offering that's really exciting. It's a 25% discount. So that would be $45 during year one. And even better, this doesn't require Mac keys. So it simplifies the deployment and activation of those ESU keys.
That sounds amazing. That is a wonderful option.
Yeah, and Mark's going to tell you all about all the goodness of Autopatch in a little bit, so we can kind of tag team there.
Here, that's great, and really value for customers as well that just need a little bit more time for jumping on that journey to Windows 11, or already started but just not in finishing in or on time, let's say like that, in October 2025. Can you shed some light on what we do in terms of connecting to Windows 11 from the cloud with a Cloud PC on like Windows 10 hardware as well in the same 3 years of time?
As you kind of hinted before, this is something you and I have been working on for a while now, and I know you share my excitement at this new offering. For customers that are looking to go to Windows 365 and capture both the benefits of Windows 11 in terms of security and productivity, as well as the benefits of the cloud, better flexibility, and again, even more security, we think this new offering is just a great option. What the offering is that customers that are using their existing Windows 10 hardware will receive ESU updates to that hardware at no additional charge if they're connecting to Windows 11 Cloud PCs running in Windows 365 with a 1-year commitment. And this is awesome because it also gives those customers a way to get additional value out of their existing hardware that otherwise they might not get.
So what you're saying here, Michael, just for getting it straight for the audience as well, you have a Windows 10 device, whether it's a laptop, desktop, doesn't really matter in this case, and you want to use Windows 11, but you are not ready to make that move or change the hardware and such, that you can transform that Windows 10 device into a like Windows app enabled device that can stream Windows 11 Cloud PCs all with the same hardware?
That's exactly right. Customers can stream to that Windows 11 Cloud PC running in Windows 365 using that existing hardware. The base OS that they're using to connect is kept secure, and they don't have to do anything with deploying Mac keys.
Yeah, that's super special, of course. It's like SASE kind of ready, like it's just happening on the background without the complexity of the Mac keys. And one other thing is important probably to say is that there's no additional costs for ESU as part of this offering, right? Both on the endpoint side, so that where you kind of connect from, as well as the Cloud PC itself. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. The Cloud PC is running Windows 11, so it's in support and kept secure. And the ESU updates that are going to flow kind of silently in the background to that local endpoint, that's included at no additional charge with your 1-year Windows 365 subscription.
Well, that's the great offering. So, yeah, I think the audience here, the IT Pro audience, as well as IT decision makers and everybody watching this episode would like to probably kick the... When do we expect that this will be ready to use?
Yeah, this will be ready at around the same time as the end of support date for Windows 10. So that would be October 14th, 2025.
Thanks, Mike. I will come back to you in just a bit, but I will switch over to Mark right now to talk about all the magic tricks he's doing with Windows Autopatch and his team. So let's move quickly over to you, Mark.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you. Yes. Definitely, we want Autopatch to be the magic for our customers so that they don't have to really do patching anymore. Or probably better described is we really don't want customers to have to kind of get into the nitty gritty technical details of deploying an update or having to support an update. Kind of the heart and soul of Autopatch is really all about taking that complexity away and allowing customers to really focus on what matters most to them, like how to schedule a rollout without impacting their business, or how to kind of tailor the experience for their end users because they know that best. But that kind of hard complexity, we want to put that under the hood of the engine, the hood of the car, if you will. We want to kind of hide that engine from them. It's kind of a bad analogy, I guess. But really the point there is we want to get customers to a much better place where we, Microsoft, can really kind of take over more and more the updating of someone's devices, but still provide customers with the necessary ways to manage that update so that it can kind of contour around the needs for their business. So that's kind of in a nutshell.
Yeah. So what you're saying kind of is that you have the simplicity. You have simplicity with Autopatch to make Windows updates very easy, but you have the granular control of rings and configurations of Windows Update for Business as well. This is like the best of both worlds, right?
Yes, it is, and it's good that you brought up Windows Update for Business because. If we were to kind of take a look at what Microsoft has today in the market, we have a lot of different update-related things that are out there. We have Intune, we have Windows Update for Business, we have Windows Update for Business Deployment Services, we have Autopatch, and that's a bit of a complicated story. And if we're really kind of now anchored on, how do we provide a simple model or an experience for customers to manage their Windows updates, one of the things we recognized is, well, we need a simple story for customers as well. So one big piece of work that we're doing right now, we call Autopatch unification, but it's a little confusing. So I'm actually glad that I'm talking to both of you today because, I think it'd be kind of a good, Q&A type of session to really kind of unpack some of the common questions that people ask us. So what we are doing is we're building kind of a single update solution called Windows Autopatch. That our kind of primary experience will exist in Intune. So as customers think about device management in the future, we really want them using Intune as that kind of anchor experience so they can move to cloud native. What they will do, and there's a slide I'll put up here on the screen right now. What they will do is they'll be able to go to a Windows Update node in the Intune console. That is where Autopatch will manifest itself. And that will be the kind of the one-stop shop for kind of all things Microsoft around how to manage updates on your commercial devices. So what we're doing here, though, is we're taking disparate products. We're taking Windows Update for Business Deployment Services, which exists today. It allows you to do things like manage driver and firmware updates. We're taking Autopatch today, which, I kind of went over earlier what that means. We're bringing those all together under this single experience so that customers are able to set policies to control when updates get done. Those are the Windows Update for Business client policies. They're able to configure features like the driver firmware feature that's there today in Windows Update for Business Deployment Services. And then they're also able to get kind of the rich reporting and remediation help that exists today in Autopatch. And we're bringing that all together and kind of cleaning up the kind of the story there. But more importantly for our customers, we're making the experience seamless and blending all of those technologies together so that they don't have to hunt around our various consoles or reports to try to, pull that story together.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I really love what you said, like Intune as your one-stop shop, like unified platform for management, as well as simplified management with Autopatch here. And one thing I really like as well is that Windows 365 Cloud PCs can be created all in the Intune portal as well. And you can even activate Autopatch in the provisioning policies, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a bootstrap experience that exists. So as you're setting up your provisioning experience for a Windows 365 device or PC, sorry, how the right term for that is. But what you're able to do is you're able to say, I like this device to be maintained by Autopatch. And you do that right from the get-go. And then, our kind of hope there is that as people spin up more and more Windows 365 PCs, they don't really have to ever worry about keeping those systems up to date. I think when we look at those devices, they're a bit unique compared to like a traditional laptop. They're there in a Microsoft data center. That's a scenario that we can really knock out of the park for customers in terms of providing a great experience. And I think that actually ties well with what Michael was going at earlier, is that what we're really interested in is getting customers to, what I would call a better place. So you can see that with the investments that we're making with ESU, where we're offering a kind of a portfolio of choices for customers. But really behind the scenes, what we're looking for is to try to, disrupt that current pattern that's going on where, customers are just used to, I got a physical device, I'll just keep pushing updates on that myself. We don't want that for our customers. We want to try to lower the cost of operating those devices. We want to provide a better end user experience. And we can do that with cloud native, with Intune powered by Autopatch. We can do that by helping customers move to Win365. So that's why you're seeing these things like the ESU program, where we're trying to, help customers and guide customers to these offerings. But really what we're trying to do at a higher level is just get customers to a better place.
Make it easy for them to stay protected and productive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
No, it's great. And like we have been chatting and talking with Gartner and talking about exactly what you just said, like with Windows 365, Intune, Autopatch, all these components in the background with like Azure and the Microsoft clouds. We really are set up for creating an end-to-end consolidated solution for our customers, which is kind of unique. And for us, has put us in a leading position as well in the Magic Quadrant for like last year, 2023. So really proud of that. And all because as well of the integrations we have with Autopatch, because it sits a little bit in that you have a cloud PC, but you still are responsible for the apps and the updates yourself as a business. But with Autopatch, you kind of go on that layer of you can simplify the patching and the automation of that. And you can even configure rings, right? Like if you want to get like your exact C-level people in a different ring, you can do that too, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's I think pretty much everyone listening to this is probably thinking, geez, I don't want to experiment my updates on my CEO or something like that. That's kind of the first ring. So what we allow is for you to create your own rings. But we also have technology too. It exists today. It's in Windows Update for Business Deployment Services, where we put some smarts behind the scenes too. So even if you create rings, which you can almost think of like as kind of like a business construct. It's kind of, your end users well. You should probably put your CEO or your kind of VIPs maybe last. You probably have some people who are used to doing testing and used to kind of, dealing and rolling with the punches, if you will. Put them earlier in a ring deployment. That's kind of one level that we allow you to do with Autopatch. But then also underneath the covers, there's things that we can do as Microsoft because, we have, basically a gigantic service up in the cloud that gets rich telemetry. We understand, different challenges from working with OEMs and things like that. So we can kind of smartly, think about how to roll out updates as well behind the scenes too. So that's where we have work that, is being done to not just allow customers to plan the rollout around how their business is, which is the rings, but then we ourselves at Microsoft, we can also look at, things more on a technical level to help control an update to make sure that there aren't any issues or to prevent them from happening.
Well, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. I think that's the extra set of kind of features that you probably want to know about when you kind of kick the tires with Autopatch too. Like you want to be sure, especially for enterprises, to make sure you separate the risks for Windows updates, even though they are pretty stable these days. You still want to kind of have that ring system in place there. So that's great insights to share there. Before we wrap up and move to the kind of closing of this episode, I want to know, like, what would you recommend for customers that are still on Windows updates for business or using some other technology? What would be the transition you recommend there to Windows Autopatch? Yeah,
so the transition, if you're already using Windows Update for Business or Windows Update for Business Deployment Services, will be, I shouldn't say seamless, because you'll notice a new user experience in the console. But what will happen is, and maybe this is where my magic trick comes in, is one day you'll get a notification that there's been a change to your console experience. And of course, we'll kind of notify customers in advance. But what will happen is you'll open the Intune console and you'll say, wow, there's this node called Windows Update. And then there you will see your Windows Update client policies there. It'll be migrated over for you. They'll continue to work. There's been sort of no, let's say, functional sort of change there, no problems at all. And then if you're licensed for Windows Update for Business, and let's say you haven't been using it before, you'll now see this all as Autopatch. And you'll see a number of different features that are available for you to configure if you want to. You'll be able to, manage driver and firmware updates. You'll be able to, control feature, update releases and things like that. And then the same with Autopatch. But the point is that if whatever your existing configuration is, whether you're using everything, like for example, you're using Windows Update for Business client policies, deployment services, and Autopatch, one day you'll just open the console and it'll all be there together for you. Magic happens and wow, it's all been brought there. And then if you're just using it for, the client policy piece, you're just in Intune today setting a client policy, then you'll see that all being brought together for you under Autopatch. And then it's really just up to you if you want to take advantage of more and more of the product. And we hope that you do.
Well, thanks, Mark. This is great. Great insights. Really insightful that you just shared, like the information as well the screenshots and as well the kind of roadmap and next steps of unification. I really want to kind of share a little bit like homework to the audience, how they can learn more and kick the tires and learn more about specifically Windows 10 ESU and Windows Autopatch. So, Michael, can you share a little bit more on like how can people dive a little bit deeper into Windows 10 ESU, extend security updates, and kick the tires via a blog that recently has been released, right? Can you share more there?
Yeah, sure. That's a really timely question, Christian, because we just launched or published a new blog post titled When to Use Windows 10 Extended Security Updates. And I think the link is probably on the screen by now. And customers can go there and read about all the details that I provided and more.
And that's great. And I know that the Windows 365 part is listed in there as well. So great resource. Mark, do you have anything to share to kick the tires with Windows Autopatch and learn a little bit more on what you just described as well?
Oh, yeah, definitely. If folks go to aka.ms/Autopatch, it'll take you to an IT blog that Microsoft has that has a ton of resources on it as well. And I think one of the first links is, how to get started. And then as we went over before, we got kind of connections with, Intune as well as Win365. So those provide kind of good tie-in points too. So, as you're going through your provisioning experience for Windows 365, really take a hard look at that. I think it's a radio option to allow, Autopatch to be kind of your management source too. And then that'll kind of take you through the experience and you can kick the tires and let it kind of try it out for yourself.
Well, that's great. And thanks for having you both. And I enjoyed the Magic Trick show as well. It's kind of the David Copperfield show, but then different, right? Hey, before I close, how can people stay in touch with you on like social media, LinkedIn, and things like that? So maybe, Mark, you go first. Where can people find you?
Oh, sure. I'm best found on LinkedIn. One of the advantages of my last name is there's not a whole lot of us on the planet. So you should be able to find me, Mark Florida on LinkedIn, and you might run into one other person with that name, but look for the guy who works at Microsoft. Thank you.
Well, it's definitely a sunny last name, more sunny than the Pacific Northwest. Hi, Michael, how can people stay in touch with you?
Yeah, LinkedIn is the right option for me as well. And you can find me there, Michael Roshko. I'm pretty sure I'm the only Michael Roshko that works for Microsoft. So it should be easy to find.
Well, this is kind of a unique group because I'm the only Christian Brink of the Microsoft as well. So we're a unique kind of a group here. Hey, thanks for being on the show. Really had a lot of fun and lots of insights for the IT Pro audience here. So with that, I really would like to thank you for watching, and please ensure to stay up to date about Windows 365, Windows in the Cloud, and everything there at aka.ms/Windows in the Cloud to see previous episodes as well. So thanks for watching and hope to see you back next time.